happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. You guys can probably already tell it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely gonna want to see this one, as we got even more trouble coming on the set. ABC's The View, aka The Spew. We got that View host, Sunny Hostin, back at it again, causing even more commotion on the set and working on our exit ticket in this newest update, guys. I'm excited to get into this one, so we're gonna hop straight into it. So make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before we even get into it, you guys hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button for your boy. And without further ado, let's get straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
Over the last, well, it's been 38 days since the president took over, and he has slowly, steadily, actually relatively quickly, I guess I should say, but every day eroded your rights. And everything that he has done has been tearing down constitutional democracy. And that's what happened in Nazi Germany. And I'm not suggesting that we're heading all the way down that path, but I am suggesting that we should all be, I mean, it should be like red alert, everybody.
Yes.
It's time for everybody to wake up. And
it's time for these folks on the left to wake up. Speaking of a wake-up call, they just will not learn from their lessons. You know, the fear-mongering does not work. It's not resonating with the American people anymore, especially those folks on the left. It's turning more folks away than it is drawing attention to what they're trying to push out, this fake outrage narrative.
I mean, it should be like red alert, everybody.
Yes.
It's time for everybody to wake up. And so that's really what I wanted to say.
Get out of here.
Question. How do you get the Republicans to wake up? Because the Republican Party in Congress needs to really get a fire lit under them. What do you do for that?
Well, let's start with the fact that when you talk to many Republicans, when they're not, you know, they don't have the cameras on them and they're not in front of Donald Trump, they will tell you that they think what he's doing is wrong. But then out in public, they'll vote with him.
Why?
Oh, party
And
line.
I think they're afraid. They are afraid. They're afraid.
More lies. He's making up fake scenarios with no evidence. Somehow this is all happening off camera. No one is brave enough, boisterous enough to come out and oppose Donald Trump. It's not really going on behind the scenes. They're making it all up on the fly.
Oh, they'll vote with him.
Why?
Oh, party
And
line.
I think they're afraid. They are afraid. They're afraid in their own primaries. They're going to get primaried and they'll lose. And to be honest with you, I don't think anybody should be in public service if your primary concern is staying over and over and over again. You ought to be able to. You ought to be willing to put it all on the line. To do what's right. In fact, that's what I think. He's
so funny.
I think that's the reason to do public.
I just want to remind you guys on who this guy is. This is the governor of Illinois, the rogue Democratic official that was opposing Donald Trump's mission, Tom Homan's agenda, in order to, you know, conduct the mass ICE raids. He's trying to get in the way of that. Just want to let you guys get a little backstory of who this guy is. He's full of it.
I think that's the reason to do public service, is that there comes along every once in a while an opportunity to stand up and do what's right and risk it all to stand up for the people.
Well, for the people. Now, the president has called himself a king. He called Ukrainian President Zelensky a dictator, but refused to say the same about Russia's President Putin. He's talked about making Canada the 51st state somehow, seizing the Panama Canal, buying Greenland, even though it's not for sale. He seemingly joked about running for a third term, which really concerns me. How much of that do you take seriously?
Look, a lot of this on his part is distraction. He's trying to get, look over here, don't look at what I'm doing down the middle here. And what are they doing? They're tearing down healthcare. Literally 20 million Americans risk losing their healthcare just in the next few months. And it's not like it's just an idea. They just passed it in the House of Representatives as part of the budget. They're going to take away Medicaid from millions and millions of people. In my state, 770,000 people will lose healthcare, and these are the people who need it the most.
Most vulnerable.
And by the way, many of those people, indeed about half of them, live in red counties, in Republican areas. They are Republicans who are going to, and they didn't know when they voted for Donald Trump that they were going to lose their health care because
I really want to know who this guy thinks he's fooling, because no one is buying the lies, these fake spins and narratives that they're trying to push out. We know exactly what's going on within the Donald Trump administration. Guess what? It's because he is the most transparent. As far as, going back to Joe Biden, the Biden regime, we had no transparency. We didn't know what was going on at all. But with Donald Trump, his team, guess what? We know every single detail. So for you guys to try to lie and spin these narratives and say that we should be upset because what Donald Trump is doing is affecting us who voted for him, it's complete lies. We're not buying it.
no, when they voted for Donald Trump, that they were going to lose their health care because of Donald
They
Trump.
didn't believe it.
They didn't, well,
They didn't believe
it
what he-
wasn't talked about. Donald Trump on the campaign trail, and even now, says, oh, I'm not going to take away Medicaid. He says Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, I'm not taking those away. Meanwhile, he blessed the House plan that just passed that takes away Medicaid.
Right.
So that's the thing. I think most people may not know he is lying over and over again.
Look in the mirror,
People
bro.
have to wake up.
So, Governor, Trump is seemingly everywhere. The Super Bowl, the Daytona 500, hosting world leaders at the White House, taking questions from the press nearly daily. Elon Musk is there, too, hovering over him. People perceive this, whether good or bad, as a president who's putting himself out there. One of the critiques of Joe Biden, that was you weren't seeing or hearing from him enough. How should Democrats be countering his public messaging and the fact that he's constantly out there? And who is the most effective Democratic leader to do that right now?
We certainly need leaders to be out there and out front and talking about it. But to be honest with you, Donald Trump has the biggest bully pulpit,
Yeah.
right? There's no
Bully
Democrat who holds any
pulpit.
position that has the bully pulpit the way that the president of the United States does. So you know what it takes? It takes people showing up at their congressional town halls. And we've seen a little bit of this happening around the
Yes.
country. It needs to happen more often.
And they keep on saying this. They need someone to step up, Democratic official or leader to go against or oppose Donald Trump. But we haven't seen one yet. We just keep seeing them pass the buck on to the next leader. Why don't, and instead of saying something or saying that someone else should do it, why don't you guys snap into action if it's just that simple? I don't see what their gripe is with Donald Trump, though.
Halls. And we've seen a little bit of this happening around the
Yes.
country. It needs to happen more often. People need to show up. You need to call Congress, right? 202-224-3121. In case anybody wants to know, ask for it.
In that vein, kind of, we're watching Elon Musk and Doge. They've been shutting down agencies, defunding programs, laying off thousands of people. President Trump wants cuts to be, as he said, even more aggressive.
Yep.
So how is this going to end, especially since these firings, the canceling of contracts, the budget cuts, they're going to possibly yield little to no savings? So at what point is the breaking point? Like, when does it, because right now they're already running into things where they're trying to reach out to these people they accidentally fired and they can't find them.
Can't find them.
Incompetence. I mean, let's start with that. That is what we're seeing.
Incompetence.
And
No one spoke on incompetence or the incapability of running a country when it was the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris sitting in that White House. But now there's Donald Trump actually getting something done, trying to audit the federal government, see where this, wasteful, abusive spending of our tax dollars is going. Now it's all a problem. Now this guy is cleaning up, shutting down our borders, cleaning up what's going on in-house. It's a problem. I mean, let's talk about incompetence. It's these folks, when they can't see, we've got a good thing going. I mean, this is what we all voted for.
Start with that. That is what we're seeing.
Yeah.
And just today, I think you may have read that Elon Musk now has put out a tweet saying, hey, all of you folks who are air traffic controllers who may have retired, we need you to come back.
Oh, my God.
Right?
Oh, my God.
I mean, I just flew into New York from Chicago. I can tell you, we need more air traffic
Yes,
controllers.
we do.
I want to make sure that we have safe airways for everybody to fly.
Yeah.
But it's not just that. I mean, the reason I think that Americans are beginning to react, and you'll see more of it, is that the very things that people rely upon every day,
Yeah.
right? It's your veteran services, people who need
VA
therapy, they go to Veterans Administration for that. Making sure that you're flying safely, making sure in my state we have poultry and meat inspectors. Seems pretty important to all of us here, I'm sure. If you go to the store, you want to make sure your meat and poultry isn't contaminated. So these are things that people are starting to, so meat and poultry inspectors in my state, they stopped paying for them.
Oh, boy.
So the processors in my state now can't get their meat to market, which means that when you go and you try to buy meat or poultry, it's much more expensive. Yeah. So that's a problem.
And you
By
risk
the
it
way,
going bad if you're not getting it.
So it's
contaminated meat, I don't want to buy at the store, and we need to make sure we have those inspectors in place. So these are the things that people will feel.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Those silly Democrats. Once again, I'm so sick and tired of them trying to tell us how the country or Americans are feeling. I mean, I haven't heard any of this. This outrage, this cry for help, they're saying is now coming from the right. Those who voted for Donald Trump, I'm just not seeing it at all. I don't understand why they continue to with the same messaging. I feel like the same messaging is going to lead them down the same road. What do we see? A landslide loss in their favor. They need to cut this out and truly wake up. They speak about taking a long look in the mirror. I think it should be them and not the folks who are doing what's best for our country right now. We've got a true leader in office. I can't get behind anything that's being said on this show. And I've told you guys this before, but I truly do believe that everyone that sits around this table right here on this view makes up all these lies, these falsehoods on the fly. We can't believe it. I don't feel like anyone in their viewership is listening either, and that's why they're going straight to the dumps, guys. But definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one. We got